I started Zenith Bank with 20 million naira in 1990. That is about $5 million.
From an ordinary clerk to the owner of a gigantic empire, Forbes named him the godfather of Nigerian banking. He holds the title of the richest banker in Nigeria and created one of the most profitable banks in West Africa, worth trillions of naira in assets. Yet, a few decades ago, his bank shared an apartment with a couple, operating from a small garage with uncertainty of the future. Meet Jim Ovia, founder and leader of Zenith Bank. Following the end of his service program, Jim Ovia was hired by the International Merchant Bank as a financial analyst. This was a very comfortable position for the young man, who earned the equivalent sum of $8,000 a year, or the price of a Peugeot 504 in 1980. Anybody could have settled their career at this stage, but Jim Ovia definitely knew he was cut out for more. At IMB, he received exceptional training from the alumni of Ivy League schools, gaining valuable experience in various departments and working his way up to the position of a bank manager. However, came the rest of the 1980s and Jim Ovia finally found his long-awaited opportunity to take to the sky. Prior to this moment, the banking sector was heavily controlled by the Nigerian government, only providing operating licenses to foreign-owned banks and a few individuals. But with the disastrous crash in oil prices during the mid-1980s, the Babangida-led government became determined to diversify the Nigerian economy, introducing the Structural Readjustment Program that liberalized many sectors, including banking and finance. Jim Ovia was quite excited with the idea of owning a bank, and without thinking twice about it, he applied for a license. While many chose to apply for a merchant banking license, which required a 6 million naira capital funding for approval, Ovia had opted for the quite expensive commercial banking license, which required a capital fund of 20 million naira for operations approval. During the license interview, Ovia met the shock of his life. The supervisory team of the CBN had declined his application, stating that his credentials were not impressive enough to prove that he was capable of governing a bank. However, Ovia was not one to easily accept defeat. He brilliantly engaged the CBN team, explaining why his 10 years of experience adequately had him prepared. After a long marketing sermon, the young banker eventually convinced the CBN directors to issue their approval to the Minister of Finance, recommending him as the pioneer CEO of his new bank, Zenith.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the CEO of Zenith Bank.